Anger is like the aircraft carrier in the fleet of our emotions, not only because of its massive size, but also because of its ability to do harm, because from it proceed a multitude of other feelings: grief, sadness, hatred, loss, horror, and doubt. Anger is an emotion that God gave us, but as with anything He's given us, we must not elevate it higher than our love for Christ. If we allow our lives and our hearts to be defined by our anger, we are worshiping at the altar of our emotions, not at the throne of God. As children, we expressed anger freely and physically. Remember, we would cry out loud or even throw temper tantrums. As adults, we learn how to not express our anger, and instead, we spend millions on drugs to numb the inevitable pain of our anger and keep it away from our lives. If anger is suppressed, it leaves us in a state of helplessness and usually leads us to avoid the divine help that we so desperately need. When it comes to being angry with God, we really have only two choices. First, we can talk it out. We could express to Him how we feel, even if that means that most of our prayers are filled with screaming. Second, we can sulk. In most instances, when we're angry with someone or even God, we avoid them altogether. Let's be honest, sometimes it's easier to pout or have a pity party than actually deal with the issue. If we don't deal with our anger head on, it will rear its ugly head in some other way. This can be dangerous, more explosive, only dig us into a deeper hole. Expressing our anger to or towards God is a lot easier said than done. I understand. But most of us accumulate anger and resentment like a collection of bugs. At some point, those feelings swell up and then they tip over and spill into all the areas of our life, creating a deep sense of bitterness for reasons we can't even remember. So I encourage you to be honest with God about your anger. He's big enough to handle it. But then patiently wait for Him to be clear with you in return. He may change your situation by simply changing your perspective.